Back home now, and today marks 7 years since the Marikana massacre, where 34 mine workers died at the hands of police in the northwest. Now, social movement Mining Affected Communities United in Action has decided to launch an association for artisanal miners. The National Association of Artisanal Miners aims to highlight the plight of workers known as Zama-Zamas. It wants to change the narrative about them and call for policy changes. For more clarity on this, I'm joined by the spokesperson for Makua, that's Sfiso Dladla. Sfiso, good evening, and thanks for your time this evening. So tell us a little bit about the National Association of Artisanal Miners. We understand you want to highlight the plight of Zama-Zamas. Why?
Thank you, Uveka. And firstly, let's pay salutation to the workers that lost their lives in Marikana 7 years ago. So the National Association of Artisanal Mine Workers is here to bring in the plight and reclaim the right to work, because it is the government's duty to create economic opportunities so that people can find work. There are thousands and thousands of people that are working. We are working in close to 36 areas across the country in 7 provinces with members. So we're going to be launching the association pretty soon, because we need to have one voice amongst each other across the different minerals, from diamonds to gold to coal in Mpumalanga and other areas. And we were an integral part of ensuring that government gives the mining permits to the Zama-Zamas in Kimberley, which was done last year for the very first time.
So just clarify for us, and when most people, and I'm just talking about perception, when most people think about Zama-Zamas, we think illegal activity. We think people are going into disused mines where they shouldn't be. We think people who are risking lives, safety. We also think, foreigners. So who exactly are you representing?
So it's everybody that has an interest of work, and whoever works in the mines. So the perception that they are foreigners, if you look into the formal mining, it is, from history tells us that people have been encouraged to cross borders to come and work. Why is it that we are bringing that now? Because it's artisanal miners. And we want to push for policy change, because the MPRDA, which regulates the mining industry, recognizes small-scale miners. Here we are talking about a layman who uses a pick and a shovel to dig for something to put on the table.
So he's not a trained miner?
Not a trained miner. It's mining of you and I, mining in your background, mining in these disused mines that have not been rehabilitated. The mining industry keeps losing jobs. People keep losing jobs, and the industry is shedding jobs. And what happens to those people? Because the only skill that they have is going down the mining. And there's an issue that has always been brought up, the issue of safety.
Yes.
You and I get into cars every day, but cars kill people. You and I get into planes every day, but planes kill people. The reason why we do that is because we want to put bread on the table of our families. So why can't government give an opportunity? So we're calling for the decriminalization of Zama-Zamas, formalization, and then regulating, and then bringing it back into the formal sector.
What would you say to those out there who say we have mine workers who we need to let go? Like you say, they're being let go, they're jobless and unemployed. Why should we not put this effort and put the support behind them, as opposed to people who should not be doing this job?
It's not a matter of doing it or not doing it. It's not a matter of the people that are laid off and not. Here we are simply talking about giving an opportunity to put bread on the table. It's a battle of the greedy and the needy. So who do we fight for in this instance? Because there are mothers who are working on the ground, there are fathers who are working on the ground to put bread on the table.
So you're saying it's happening anyway. They are there, so let's be able to support them.
As long as you're saying it's a criminal activity, it's a fight of putting bread on the table. Everybody must.
So where would Zama-Zamas mostly work once you get this legitimized?
Wherever they are working now. So it should be a talk between government. For example, if a mine has a 25-year span, you work for 25 years in the formal, and then in the last 5 years, you then formalized the artisanal mining, then you give it to them, and then you regulate them, and then they are brought back.
After normal mining has happened in that area, and once you're not interested in that area anymore.
Because that's what usually happens. Gauteng alone has 500 unrehabilitated mines. When you work in the mine, you are the one that knows where the residues are, you know, where everything is. So if the mine is not profitable for a formal mine, they just abandon it.
So what would be in it for the artisanal miners? What are they finding?
Whatever that they are finding right now, why are they criminalized if there's nothing? Why are they criminalized? Why are they prohibited from entering those shafts? And remember, we are talking about people that know the shafts, people that understand the minerals.
But there is a criminal element among them, right?
Of course there is a criminal element.
So how will you deal with that as an association?
That needs us, government, the mining affected communities, it needs the Zama-Zamas, it needs the DMR, it needs the police, and it needs everybody else who has an interest in the sector. The unemployment rate in South Africa keeps growing. Poverty keeps hitting hard. The inequality rate that gap keeps widening. And we are saying, here's a solution. There are thousands and thousands of Zama-Zamas across the country. And in one of the portfolio committee meetings, where it was said that due to artisanal mining, which they call illegal mining, there's billions and billions lost. Now, why can't we make a profit out of those billions and create employment opportunities for all these people? And the only voice for all of this is the National Association of Artisanal Mine.
And do you think that doing this, having an association that will fight for their rights and try and organize the sector as such, will end things like the turf wars we've seen not too long ago? We ran a story here on ENCA about the fights between Zama-Zamas themselves, which result in innocent people, ordinary South Africans, getting killed.
See, that's the criminal element that you were talking about, because there are syndicates behind. Now, if we formalize all of this, then the syndicates will be dealt with, and we will be...
Are you confident that that will happen?
If the law enforcement is capable enough to do that, and we are there to play a role in ensuring that we identify those who are there, because, Yuveka, you and I know there's no formal mining that has ever been charged for having minerals that come from informal mining. But it's easy to arrest like 20 Zama-Zamas, but you cannot go to Anglo, you cannot go to Lonmin, you cannot go to Sibanye and ask them, where did you get all those minerals?
Okay, well, I must admit, it is a very interesting idea, a very interesting story, and we'll certainly keep track of this one and see how that goes. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck with that. That's Sviso Dladla from the Mining Affected Communities United in Action.